Welcome to the Fandom Outpost, your podcast for all things pop culture.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fandom Outpost. As usual, I am 1/3 your host. My name is Mark.
I am Jim.
I'm Bob. Hi, everybody. Hope you had a nice holiday, everyone.
Outstanding. Yep. I was hoping somebody would say that. Yeah. So we're
and you guys too. Hope everyone.
A long break. Yeah.
Yeah. We hardly. We tried to keep in touch, but it was a little more dicey with the family get-togethers and everything.
Plus, what everybody was just talking about before we went live is we were all sick.
Everybody
was sick. So
excuse any coughing we have going on. Yeah.
I have to hit the cough button.
My tea keeps that down. Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God.
So we're back and ready for 2024, right?
Ready for 2024. And I think today's subject matter is very topical because I wasn't a huge guy that was worried about it. Bob actually started introducing from 2023. There was talk about this, but then I started getting very my panties in a bunch, so to speak, over this thing and get paranoid. So today's subject, we're going to talk about physical media and its decline as speculated by about 1 billion internet people right now and stuff like that. Also, there's hopefully some video that can be dropped in here. I actually did some research and I went to a couple stores. So I probably should have said that before the recording started. Well, I went to our worst Walmart. We have one in the area that's kind of considered our worst, and I filmed there. I went to our best Best Buy and filmed there, and I went to a Target and filmed there. So hopefully this stuff can be shown with what it looks like there. Anyway, so Bob, why don't you take us? Why don't you start us off with the big panic, satanic panic, as Jim always says about our D&D time.
I was probably trying to deny that it was happening because I had read before the holidays in like late fall, I think, that Best Buy was going to stop their physical media retail portion of their business out of their store, and I guess I just tried to deny that it was going to happen. But I'd stop by there maybe every other weekend just to kind of browse around, see what's out. And I went yesterday, and it was definitely down 2 of those kind of the racks, the metal racks. They used to have 2 additional ones, and they were gone. So it's starting to shrink. So the fear is real, people. I think it's happening.
It's our own zombie apocalypse happening. So
I think the days of just going to your local store and finding a new release or a special edition may be coming to a more difficult option. You may have to search around a little bit more, and it looks like it's going to have to be online.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I mean, we can also talk about what the comparisons of physical media versus streaming, because I mean, I stream stuff all the time.
I think we all do.
Yeah, it's very convenient. I'm sure,
Well, Jim brought up something the other day. I do want to point this out. There's 3 levels here between the 3 of us, which I really think it's going to be interesting to talk about. So Jim is on we'll say the family-oriented side of all this, meaning like, what did you say the other day, Jim, about somebody will go out, your mom, you made her a reference to your brother.
Oh, Jeff. Yeah. So I referenced my mother, who will buy stuff for my younger brother, who will, as a gift. And she's the person that will go to a Best Buy, and they watch cable, but they don't have any streaming services. And my brother writes a list of all the stuff he wants, and he knows what it is, and it's just not there anymore. That stuff is, Best Buy was the place he would go to get stuff, and it's not there. And she's not a person that's going to order something from Amazon for it either.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah, that's what I was wondering then. And then Bob is on if I get this right, he would be to the left of the spectrum.
He's the elite tier.
He's the elite
more
tier.
Collector based. Yeah, I like to collect stuff.
And you actively search out I guess, the studios that would be putting out stuff. So if there's a certain version of a film and the studio has that, or the niche studio, as we'll talk about, then you'll seek that out and get that. In fact, you had a couple of those that you showed us before we went on air.
Right.
And I'm kind of in the middle. I bought stuff from Target, I'd say within 6 months. I haven't gotten anything from Walmart, and then Best Buy. So I'm kind of all over the place. The only thing that I would say that I specialize in would have been those Best Buy exclusive steel books. So
right, that's what you kind of collected, right?
That's what. Yeah, for some reason, I missed the boat. The early years of that, and steelbooks go way back. Target used to carry a selection of them. Walmart used to carry a selection of them, and Best Buy did. And between the three outlets, you might get different covers, but they were something that if I started to upgrade or got away from my current DVD collection, I started going with those. And so I've got a nice little bunch of them, but that news of Best Buy, oh my God, that pretty much takes me out of the game. Yeah. Unless, like Top Tier Bob, his new nickname, Top Tier Bob, he's got to point out where I might be able to grab some of this stuff. But I ordered some things for my wife overseas. Forget the name of that company, Zavvi. So they were really cool. They have both region free and stuff like that. So I got some really cool artwork Disney ones, but I was just like, those were throwaways. Like, oh, cool, one off. Not that I shop from overseas all the time, because that $33.71 shipping price,
right?
Pretty much can kill it for you.
So we have to I guess we have to discuss how it fits in, if it's a collector or just your average person who maybe doesn't want to stream and pay all these streaming fees monthly, and and that's probably why DVD is still around. I mean, I've read before that DVD sales are usually pretty decent with like Walmart and all that, and it surprises me, but there is a market for that, for people who maybe just don't care about, and that's not a bad thing if it the quality of the presentation. I mean, that's kind of where I fit in. I care a little bit more about seeing things in their best possible way, and that's how I kind of got to where I'm at.
Yeah, well,
that's just how I am. I mean, I work in a digital field for my profession, so I'm used to seeing things pretty crystal clear. So I guess I'm just kind of trained. My eyes kind of trained to see that a little more, and I do enjoy that.
Well, what do you? That's a great question, man. Like, what do you look for? Like when you're out there and you're like, I got to get movie A is coming out, and what's the top tier? 4K, right? That's the top tier right now. Yeah.
Right.
So what do you get that makes you grab it? Is it just because the movie's in 4K, or because you get a bunch of stuff on it?
At Best Buy yesterday, I picked this up, this War of the Worlds.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. I searched a little bit. I've never really watched the whole movie.
It's great.
And
it's absolutely a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's an older film, which usually those older films, if they're done right in their transfer, look really, really super, like you've never seen them before. So that kind of attracted me to this. Plus, it was like $12. It was on sale. So I was like,
so the only
$12.
Only unfortunate thing about that is because it is such a high clarity, which it was not intended to be when it was shot, you will see the strings on the flying saucer.
I knew you was going to mention. I'm trying not to laugh.
But that's a thing.
That's
right?
great.
Because as they're filming it and the creators are creating it, they know there's this diffusion there that makes those things disappear.
Yeah.
Where, it's original intended presentation process, hid those things. So
you know what? This is going to sound stupid, but I got to admit, I don't care. Like, I'll see it.
Sure, that's part of the charm, right?
Yeah, dude. It absolutely doesn't take anything away from me. And I'll be like, you know what it is? It's like watching Godzilla, and you get to see certain things. Like you'll see the same jets pass on the same street line as they got to send them down the line.
But you're buying into it, right?
That's part of the you grew up with, but we're sophisticated enough that we grew up with that, and so we know that this is a guy in a rubber suit.
We grew up with the matte lines around the Star Wars ships, and
and our Godzilla. I'm sorry, I should say that our Godzilla is different from modern Godzilla. We definitely, it's not that it's still not maybe a man in a suit on occasion, but we really had a man in a suit. Like that's all there was, and the little miniatures, city that he's walking on and stuff like that, which is phenomenal to see him.
Also, an Easter egg for your War of the Worlds as well, Bob, is when you the leads in it, the male and female lead in it, they show up as the grandparents at the end of the Steven Spielberg one.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
Nice. I did not know that. That's really
good. Got to put a little trivia.
Good Easter egg. Yeah, I like that. The one that I went to still had 2 racks of movies. The only thing I noticed, what is it? They have that new release kiosk. Is that what you call it? The kiosk?
Yeah.
Yeah. So mine doesn't have that anymore. So that's the first thing I noticed. I was like, uh-oh. So I walk all the way to the back of the store, which is where the movies are in this particular one that I go to, all the way to the back of the store. And they have, on either side of the aisle is movies. So they still have the 2 racks. But what I noticed was there are a lot of 4K releases that they've pulled out. Now, I don't know, or the X factor is that because that's all the crap in the back room and they're just going to throw it out there and once it's gone, it's gone?
Maybe.
I would tend to believe that now.
Yeah. So that's what Bob said when he mentioned the price of that. I don't care. I'm a fan of that movie, The Accountant, and it was relatively super cheap for a 4K.
And under 20 is a good deal on a 4K.
Yeah. And I saw other ones that were cheaper than that, which I was really like, I don't know why I laid off, because if that's the top quality and you really want physical media, then it's great. I don't know, for those at home or watch us on YouTube, Bob has an immense wall of physical media over his shoulder there, if you could see it. And it's just amazing to look at.
Kind of grew out from the our COVID issue where everyone was locked up at home.
Right.
And it kind of got me into collecting things to watch during that time period and pass some time and enjoy some family time at home. So it kind of grew out of that, and that's where I got the newer 4K setup to watch it on, and so it all kind of came out of the COVID era, I guess. And I've been kind of just picking off things that are my favorites. I don't really buy every single release, and that there is also a discussion with 4K because sometimes 4K is not really 4K. So there are other ways to investigate, like Blu-ray.com is really good at doing your research on a release, because sometimes it's a 2K upscale that they just kind of throw out there.
Right.
And it's not really a true 4K rescan of the negative and the whole bit. I mean, you can really get into it in sound quality, the whole bit, but we'll kind of keep it on a layman's terms, I guess, for this video. But
I was just one of the things that doesn't really get addressed in this. One of the reasons that I liked DVDs, the reasons they sold me on DVDs, and then everything that came up Blu-ray and 4K, is because if I like a movie enough to buy it, I want all those extras that are on that disc. I want all those commentaries. I want all those behind the scenes. I want all those things. And when I'm getting it off of Amazon Prime or Apple, or I get nothing. I mean, Disney will float a little something once or twice at the end of what they show.
Right, I did notice that.
Disney will, but it's like, I don't get it anywhere else, and that's the thing I'm interested in. If I'm interested enough to buy the film, I want.
Absolutely.
There's a reason, so I want it all.
Absolutely. And I gotta pause here for a second, because if you go back, and I remember, because I worked in the business, when widescreen VHS tapes were coming out. That was really interesting, because it was like, whoa. I remember having argumentative conversation with my mom, who she doesn't understand why the black was at the top and the bottom of the screen, couldn't understand any of that. And, that was just a whole era right there. But what got me into the whole DVD process and picking up that and leading to all this other stuff was commentary. I was so fascinated by listening, and hopefully I didn't, no offense, I didn't care too much about actors, but I wanted that director one or a cinematographer. You know,
right.
I wanted to, I needed to get that. And that was what led me to really dive into physical media. Not so much as, a top tier looking. I mean, it could still be a, so-so movie, but if you got that really good insight commentary, because you got like just commentary where it's like, all right, we used, shot this during the day and turned it to night. And then you got like Peter Jackson commentary, which is, showing you everything under the sun. So
how do you guys deal with commentaries? I'm curious because, like, if I watch a movie, I'll just kind of watch the movie, but then I don't want to watch it again to listen to the commentary. So how do you split that up? Do you watch it at a different time or?
Well, it depends on what the movie really is. Like if I really know the movie, I mean, like, we can recite the damn thing from start to finish. Yeah. And you're not getting anything new out of watching it. So I might start with the commentary. But if I haven't seen it on 4K or it's like a really special edition and I haven't seen it in years or I just got it or something like that, I'll watch it first just to get all that nostalgia back.
Get that feel back.
And then maybe a week later, I'll go back in and commentary it. Which seems weird because you are watching the same thing twice. But, I tend not to pay attention to it. I turn the volume up really loud so like those guys or whoever it is right in the room, talking to me about it and stuff like that. So I do. I love commentary. I cannot say enough about commentary. If I get one thing out of a commentary, it's a success for me. It's worth the price that I paid because I didn't know that, and most of your commentaries, for those that don't know, they're not like your trivia on IMDb. It's the directors or his main stars. It's their personal experience when making or shooting that scene. If I had to say a negative about commentary is that sometimes you want them to talk about every scene and they can get lost in the conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
And it can
blow over it. Yeah.
It can blow over another scene and you're like, you wanted to hear about that one. So
there's like a Kurt Russell Carpenter one that's like I wanted it to be really good and it was just them bullshitting the whole time. And I don't know if that's the thing.
That sounds like it. No, it sounds like Escape from New York. Is that?
Maybe
one,
that's
I
it.
think is
yeah.
the one that
and I was like, no, talk about the movie. And they're like, they just haven't seen each other in a long time.
Yeah. Well, they've got that commentary. I think they do it for Big Trouble. I think they do it for The Thing. I think they do it for.
It's fun to see that they're so comfortable and they have this great relationship and all that, but it's also like, you're not doing the assignment, guys. Come on. So,
you're literally paid by the companies to do this kind of stuff. So, well, circling back around, I know that Bob's got more information on this and I want to hear about, but like there are companies, I'm not sure what you would call them, that put out
boutique labels. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Yes.
And they put out certain things that you can't find walking into Walmart. So I want to bring this up right here because this is a studio release. So, okay. Mm-hmm. So this is not a boutique one. This is actually released by the studio. This is the Prince of Egypt. Thank you for doing that. So this is the 4K release of Prince of Egypt, 25th anniversary. If you've never seen the movie, you're really missing out. It's a phenomenal movie of itself. The 4K release is just amazing. The colorization, the sound is just beyond compare. It's a phenomenal entertainment watch. I'm just going to say that. So,
what studio was that out of again?
But see, that's the thing. So this is
DreamWorks.
Wait, right?
This is DreamWorks. This is so.
Yeah. And this one of the first DreamWorks, about right one of the early ones.
Right. But this is put out by the actual DreamWorks studios, whereas what Bob's talked about, that I want to get into, the boutique ones, those are subsidiary companies that they do all the work and they put out a movie that could be from, I guess, another company. You know what I mean?
Right. So Sword and the Sorcerer, yeah.
Yeah, things like that. Like Bob, I want him to talk about this. This is something that he turned me on to, but this is Kino Lorber.
Yeah.
Kino Lorber, we've got companies like Arrow, Synapse, Vinegar Syndrome, all those companies.
Holy cow.
You got your, I got this
Shout Factory is fantastic.
Shout Select. That's the
Shout Select. Put that thing down. I'm so jealous of you for having that.
Yeah, that was a Christmas gift. I'm like,
dude, like I want that one really bad. Good
It's funny because
job.
only the director's cuts in 4K. It's interesting. So
Oh yeah, but it's
it's a
worth
little.
it if you can sit for 4 hours.
I know. But
That's a
then again,
long one.
That's a shout factory. They call it a shout select. They kind of pick out titles from the past and give them all the love
That's
and
right.
care they deserve. And
The boutique labels, they know their audience, so
Right.
they
Right.
put all that care into it when they like. I'm going to pull out whatever
Yep.
film, and it's going to be some obscure movie from the '80s or something. But I know that the people who want this, they're going to want to listen to this person, and they're going to want to see this behind the scenes thing, and so they know what their product and their audience is. They're a little more
Yeah.
focused. Where
Yeah.
like Universal goes, oh, Universal Monsters, let's just release them all again. Same stuff that we're
Right.
just going to import it from the last one.
Well, it's funny because I pulled up I pulled up Needful Things, and that's one of those ones that I've always enjoyed. But here's, you know what? I mean, this is my fault for not knowing everything about the release coming out. But there's a television cut on here.
Nice.
So not only does it have the theatrical release with
Yeah.
commentary by the director, there's a television cut. Now the television cut is longer and has more scenes. So normally that would be considered, folks. I'm not going to go into a deep dive, a director's cut, but it's how they spaced commercials and things like that. So you might get added scenes. I'm talking to you, Halloween, or Halloween 2 or whatever it was. You'll get added scenes for a television version that you didn't know exist.
I
And
think part 2 and the shout for Halloween 2. I think they put the TV on Blu-ray. I think.
okay, that's what
The
it
newer
was
one,
then. I
the
knew it was
box
one
set
of
one.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, which are always interesting. They're always fun to kind of watch. They're never as good, but they're fun to watch.
Right.
Yeah, shout for King Kong 76. They had the television edit, which when it aired on TV, they
Yeah.
stretched it out over 2 nights, right? So you get a couple
Oh.
extra
Right.
scenes that you didn't
Yep.
get, but they're not as great as quality as the rest of them.
Right.
But
But it's
fun
interesting to
stuff
see
to have,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah, and the boutique stuff is where we get that at, and that's where I'm not trying to. The overall umbrella of this is that Best Buy, you could find some of this stuff at Best Buy. You cannot find it at Walmart. You cannot find it at Target. I don't know. So now it's usually going to end up being direct, unless you have a store.
Like a Barnes and
you have
Noble, you might
Yeah,
find it
and then
there.
I have a replay. I don't know what it is. We have some type of store down here, but
Yeah.
they will get in those types of movies. You know what I mean? Along with all their used that they take in and sell for a few dollars and stuff. So
Right.
this 52 pickup that I have,
That's sweet.
for
Yeah.
from Kino Lorber, that was at that store. It's not a boutique store; it's just a resale store. But they ordered that in because they will get some of the boutique stuff, and and they're fairly priced. I mean, they're what if you want it, you're going to pay for it.
Probably my premium packaging 4K that I bought. I showed you guys this before. Was the Lighthouse,
Yes.
and it was directly from A24, but they have a shop there.
Okay.
So you get like all kinds of, you get like a booklet, you get all kinds of
Nice.
schematics of the thing. It's
Nice.
a very, very, very nice packaging.
Right.
So I mean,
what
if
you
you're
want.
a collector, this is something you would want.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
probably the best,
Yeah.
highest premium thing I've got of my collection so far.
And that's the thing. That's
That's
the
the
what,
thing.
That's what Bob's talking about. These boutiques that are now. I'm not going to say in competition now, but if the physical media dies off at your local retail, then I'm looking at all that power right here. The prices of these things and the demand for a better quality, like you just showed that Lighthouse thing, will skyrocket. That's my opinion. I really think it will.
If it gets sold
know.
out or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, because if that's the only place, like right now, I could go into Target and still buy the Lighthouse. Okay, yeah, I could probably still get the 4K.
Yeah, the Blu-ray
So
is like $5.
bad.
I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
that's not bad for those just looking to get that movie. And the Blu-ray, let's face it, folks, that's
Yeah.
still going to have some nice stuff on it. You're
And
still
look
going to
good,
get your
too.
commentaries and stuff like that. But when those go away, which I suspect they're all about to, except for Walmart, they'll probably still be around. Target's already dead. Sorry, Target.
Yeah, Target's
They're-
pretty.
Yeah, they are.
You get a
already
new
gone.
release for a week or so on there, and that's
Yep.
about it.
But I think the prices and people wanting to get those new boutique ones they're gonna double. Like they're gonna sell out quickly. So what places are gonna have to do? My prediction is that they're either gonna have to print more because now it's not necessarily a collectible. It's just what people want, or it is going to be that super rare collectible, and we're gonna end up paying 5 times the amount for it.
I'll give you two reasons for optimism in the physical media world, I guess.
Oh wow!
The fact that Disney is releasing their series like The Mandalorian on 4K.
Yes, that's a good point.
And I saw it.
And Criterion is getting into the 4K market in addition to their Blu-ray collection. Those are pretty, at least, optimistic signs that they want to increase their market or maybe expand it. Now, that gives you a little bit of optimism, I think.
I gotta be that devil's advocate guy though, because where are they being sold at? They're not being sold at Best Buy. So right now, the only place when I did my research this past weekend to find those are Walmart. Mm-hmm. Walmart, because they were only released, folks. When he's talking about these series, the TV series, they are only released in steelbooks. They're not released in a generic brand. So it's still a $40+ item that you're going to be hunting for.
That's a collectible thing then.
Yeah.
It's more of a collectible.
And they are right now on the front kiosk at Walmart. I could pick them up if I wanted to. Except for Loki, that's kind of a sold-out deal. Loki kind of came and went. So that's going to be the harder one to find. But I still see Mandalorian. I still see WandaVision out there.
So who do we think is going to step up in the big box store market, do we think?
It's going to be Walmart.
$1,000 question.
It's going to be Walmart.
That's the thing, right? Who's going to step in and fill the void?
Walmart, they consistently, you're in there every 6 months, and here's the same 20 films that have a new slipcover on it. We put new slipcovers on these for Halloween.
They're pretty famous for that.
Yeah, they do. Every holiday season or stuff, they'll release a different type of version of it.
Those glow-in-the-dark ones are fun.
Here's the Halloween. Here's it's Valentine's Day, so here's an end cap with all the rom-coms, right?
There's the heart with the dagger through it for Friday the 13th.
Right,
You're like, okay. Yeah, that's funny stuff.
I think Walmart in general, perhaps because their audience, their consumer base might not necessarily be so into 4Ks or higher end product, or there are people out of budget,
Absolutely.
It goes across the board, right? They have all, they can sell all tiers.
They can sell them all, yeah.
I've seen, I walked into a Walmart, I don't know where it was, I got 4 or 5 in the general area, depending on how far you want to travel. I walked into one, and they had a section for Steelbook movies, and I was like, what? Steelbooks, folks, are kind of that really, it's a collectible. It really looks good. It sits nice on a shelf. It's only there for collectability. For sure, yeah. Right? But they had a whole wall of it. I stood there staring like 10 minutes. People must have thought it was special or something, because I was just
pick one already.
I was like, wow, do I want to get one? And I'm like, I think I do. And they had some nice ones. I'm not going to lie. They had some stuff that I hadn't seen before. And I remember I sent you guys the pictures, and Bob was like, he noticed one in the picture. Was like, oh shit, that one is a rare one.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So if Walmart goes that way, they'll kill the market. I don't mean like in a bad way. They'll kill it. You know what I mean?
They'll make a killing.
They will just. Yeah. They'll make a killing. They'll be the top guys, and everybody will go there, and that's awesome. That would be so good for them.
I did just Walmart speaking. That Oppenheimer I was telling you guys. That Icon Edition. It was a Walmart thing.
Okay.
It has like a little magnetic opening.
Yeah. Oh, nice, dude. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all the packaging. The only thing bad is that the Blu-ray, the 4Ks kind of slip into the top of sleeves.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm always a little worried because I'm like, you got to drag them out of there. So it's like,
This is kind of, hey, folks out there, this is kind of a YouTube one. The podcast is great, but we're showing off a lot of product here. So you might want to catch us over on YouTube at the Fandom Outpost. Just so that you can see, especially the two that Bob is just showing. Like, those are really sweet looking.
So what was your guys' last physical media pickup? What did you get? What was the last thing you picked up?
Well, I told you I got The Accountant because it was so cheap.
Okay.
4K that I was like, I can't pass that by. And it's got, a bunch of stuff on it that I'm going to watch. Like Jim says, the behind the scenes stuff that you really want to watch on stuff.
Right.
Before that, I got my wife for Christmas Matilda in Steelbook. So
Nice.
she's a huge fan of that movie, and I always kind of kept my eye out at Best Buy for I call them the lower tier ones. Like it's not a new release; it's an older movie that they'll release in Steelbook, and
Right. So
that's
this is-
where
yeah,
I
this
got
is
a
the
lot of
older
my
one.
stuff on with Best Buy. Yeah, and I really liked how they did that. So I'm crying over here, Best Buy, because like I can't get.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
how I'm going
sad.
to get that
It's
no
sad.
more. You know.
It's
Yeah.
another one bites the dust. Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah. What about you, my man?
Actually, last thing I picked up was Highlander in 4K,
Oh
Oh,
man,
nice. That's a good one.
and
great.
I
we were just talking
probably-
about that this morning.
Yeah, just because it's I didn't have it in my collection, and
Nice.
it's like, all right, well, eventually I'll get a 4K player. So, and it comes with a digital download, so I'll download that and I'll have that to watch until I get a
Wow,
4K
we didn't
player.
even touch on that.
No,
That's
we
something
didn't.
That I wish you
Yeah.
would have brought up. Like
So
30
I'm
minutes
slowly
ago.
creeping toward that.
Yeah,
So
I forgot about that.
I'm big into the digital download, but it does worry me that they could take those away at any point or alter them. But it's nice to have a little.
But if you've bought it though, then is that so? If we
I
go
don't
over on
know.
this a little bit, so when you buy the actual physical copy of something, right, and you get
Right.
that digital download, that's your digital download. That's not like you bought it off Amazon.
You unlock it. You unlock it in like a Voodoo or a Movies Anywhere. You
Right,
have an
yeah.
account with them and you unlock it. That's how I look at it. Like you've unlocked it from their vault. Now, if they change their vault, they could, like French Connection or something. We'll go watch our William Friedkin podcast about editing of
pre-existing stuff. I'll never buy something digitally off of Amazon.
I won't either.
I'll rent it. I won't buy it.
What were we watching? Community, and there's an episode in there that got banned, but you can buy it from like Amazon or something.
Okay.
And it's not worth looking into, but it's like, well, in order to get the whole set, we had to buy that one to even watch it and stuff. So I just think this could be another podcast, folks, about censorship in this stuff.
Well, just what do you own and what don't you own in the digital realm?
Exactly.
And how long do you own it?
How long do you own it? That's the thing. So if they want to change up their library and that doesn't count no more, like when Netflix like purges their stuff and you don't get to watch it, but if it was in your list and it comes back to them, it comes right back to your list, which I find kind of funny. You know what I mean?
interesting.
You don't have to seek it out again and put it in your list. It comes right back to it.
But see all those
Which is
people that
ridiculous.
loaded years worth of songs into iTunes that they
Oh
can
my
never
God.
get back,
Dude,
right?
you're hurting my heart just talking about that right now.
Yeah.
Let's not go there.
Yeah.
I'm not. We can't go down that route.
Well, I was just going to quickly say I use streaming to kind of check out something that like Killers of the Flower Moon. It came on Apple Plus this week, and it's a 320
Long,
duration.
yeah, dude, holy
It's a
cow.
long movie, but I sat through it and enjoyed it. But I was thinking, like, I don't know if I could have made it in a theater for that long without taking about
Wow.
2-3 breaks.
Well, didn't that have an intermission, or did I hear that
Nope.
wrong? I thought,
It was
oh my
just-
God.
Nope.
Oh.
A movie that long is perfect for streaming. What if you take it that and you go, all right, I want to chop it up into half-hour segments and treat it like it's a series. I'm just going to watch it in 30-minute chunks.
I think it could have been edited down to 2.5.
Here's also a problem, too, and I am not an expert on this. You get filmmakers who still want to be filmmakers, and they want their stuff to have contingency plans for Oscars and award seasons and stuff like that. And unless that is changing, then they got to kind of get that out to the theater. Because I remember The Irishman was a big controversy about that. Because I think wasn't that
Is it
made
a film?
for Netflix?
Is it not a
That
film?
was
Yeah.
like one of the
Yeah, and
one of the
he
first to do that. Yeah,
That's
First
right.
to Netflix.
And he released it in theaters at Oscar time so it could get that. Now I think that's bullshit that they do that, but there should be a contingency for that. And I thought the Oscars were talking about that this year. Like if it comes out on Netflix, it counts.
Well, Maestro is going to be in that category then because that came
Yeah.
straight to.
I said that too. We had that conversation here.
It went both theater and Netflix, and I watched it on Netflix.
They still have that theater connection. You know what I
Right.
mean? There was a foreign film. I'm sorry, I should have came better prepared. That was released on Netflix only or something like that. But it won some stuff, and it started a huge controversy or something. But I
Roma,
think that
Roma. It was Roma.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. And I'm sorry, folks, who gives a shit? Whatever platform it comes out to.
Right, that's like an art house film. If I live someplace that doesn't have an art house, I'm never going to see an art house film.
And if Netflix is making it, there's still a hashtag. I'm doing hashtags for those listening to the podcast. It's still a studio making the film.
I hired actors, I hired cameramen, I hired producers, I used all the tools in that filmmaker's toolbox.
I knew we were going to run over because of this, because there's some passion about this, and
it starts bleeding into different discussions, doesn't it?
I wanted to get into the streaming aspect of it, but we touched on that with our friend Joe, and I think that streaming is going a certain way, and physical media is why physical media is loosening its grip out there, and it's because of streaming. This is one of those things that people were predicting a long time ago. Streaming
is conditioning us to how we take in our entertainment, right? It's just a different form.
Absolutely, 100%.
It just like video took it away from movie theaters, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
TV took it away from movie theaters when television became a thing.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing. And whatever content you're pushing out on there now, is it the same quality? I'm not sure. It just depends. Somebody's worst film is still somebody's best film. You know what I mean?
Right.
And maybe at a later date we'll all talk about Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. Because that had a lot of hype. Coming into this Christmas.
You're good.
I'm good. This was enough.
I'm just saying, dude, you gotta admit, I went through Walmart yesterday and there's popcorn tins with Rebel Moon on it.
Oh,
so they were expecting this thing to be.
Oh, that's their their little Netflix little cubby that they had.
Yeah, something like that. But they were expecting this thing to be like it was up there, man. But it got the hype. But I don't know. Sorry, Zach, we're not picking on you. It's just
one of the better Disney Star Wars decisions, right?
But here's the funny part about that, dude. Think about the campaign, though. The campaign to hype and market that movie was really big. It's just too bad that it didn't live up to it. But
it was the next coming, right?
Yeah, they don't get that type of campaign behind it and stuff. I just think Netflix really thought it was this is going to bring in the new subscribers. Not.
People should check out our last episode with Joe Becker from Kybercast, the Kybercast.
Ooh, I wonder what Joe's take on Rebel Moon's.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't listened to his newest show, but I saw something that Michael posted where it was about Star Trek, and he was like, "I don't give a fuck about a prequel or something like." There's a good quote. Sorry, Michael.
Give me the next Abram films. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, yeah. He was just he's like, I do not care about this. We don't care about this. So, and he's right. He's 100% right. Nobody wants to see, an Abrams prequel film or something.
Right,
we have enough of that on TV and good product and stuff. So I don't get it. I wish I owned my own studio because I don't get it. And I won't. Boy, we really got off the path there. Sorry about that.
Well, it basically comes down to if you're a collector, you enjoy packaging, you enjoy extra features, you're going to search out, even if your local store doesn't have this physical media around as much. I think the people that are super passionate about it will still search it out somehow. It's going to be probably online or something like that, and maybe a Walmart will step up and fill the gap, but it's going to be a little different.
Whatever's happening out there, folks, it's really happening. So don't turn a blind eye to it. But that physical media, I remembered the quote and I wrote it down and I lost it. Can't find it. I'm going to screw it up. But that Christopher Nolan quote about, him and Guillermo del Toro were talking about, you own that. You know what I mean?
You own it.
Preservers of the future of cinema if you own it. It's a great quote. I think those guys are right on the money, But come on, Christopher Nolan. The fact that you gave us a short print run on Oppenheimer, we all had to scramble to try to find that thing everywhere. It's out now though. They got more copies in everywhere because I saw them quite a bit over the weekend. But at first,
I do recommend if you find it, it does look pristine. I mean, they put so much care into that effort and that release. It looks tremendous. So it's an A+.
Nice. And I will say this in finishing too, folks. Sometimes it's not the movie; it's your TV, it's your player. So
all the stars have to align.
yeah, we are not like video files like that. But if you want top notch, you got to get a system that's going to play it top notch. So I mean, it's just the way the future is going, and for a relatively cheap price, you can dip your toe into that field.
R.I.P. New Release Tuesday.
Oh my God, that's right. I forgot it was called that. But that was everything too. That's like books and vinyl and.
I'm being facetious, but yeah,
it's good. That's funny.
It is a sad day that you can't run to the store on a Tuesday and
on a New Release Tuesday. God damn, dude, you just made me all sad now that you said that. I forgot about that.
It's a bummer.
Yeah. So, but we will have sorry, Bob, just for a sec. We will have some good shows coming up. It's 2024. We're going to try some different things. I know we keep saying that, but we are. So we hope that you stuck with us for the year.
We'll still drop in some favorites, some director stuff.
Yeah.
Follow us at the Phantom Outpost on social media and everywhere you get your podcasts. We've been trying to get the Instagram going, and our Facebook's a good place to go chat with us. So drop us a line, check out our posts, and comment, and we'll all make our best effort to get back to you. We enjoy talking with the fans and people that we know or don't know. We just want to have fun out there. So hopefully we'll see you online.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
We'll see you next time on the Phantom Outpost. Bye, everybody.
Yep.